Hey everyone, you have clicked on to the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video. We call it Weather for Weather Geeks, geared towards not only the weather geeks, but those who need or want a detailed forecast that you're not going to find on a weather app or on TV or anywhere else on the internet, at least for our region. And well, it was a nice day to sit inside and take a nap today. That was about it. It was a real gloom fest out there today with low-hanging clouds. It kind of almost seemed like the sun didn't even rise today. It was so dark out for a lot of the day. You know, we're into November. The sun angle is getting really low. And when you have a day like today where we have a thick stratus deck of clouds and that low sun angle, it continues to just kind of look like nighttime, or at least early morning or late afternoon. It just looks like that all day. And it's, you know, no surprise we're into November now. We see a big increase in the number of cloudy days around here between October and November. This starts a stretch of pretty cloudy weather. That, of course, takes us all the way through winter and even into early spring. A big reason, our proximity to the Great Lakes. If the Great Lakes did not exist, it would not be as cloudy around here as it is. All right, our sunset this evening, it wasn't a pretty one, of course, but it was at exactly 5 p.m. This starts a roughly 5-week or so stretch of 5 p.m. or earlier sunsets, bottoming out at 5:53 p.m. between December 6th and 11th. That sunset at 4:53 is for the Youngstown area. Latitudes, or longitudes, I should say, a little bit farther to the east over into, say, Mercer and Lawrence County. The sunset is even a little earlier, more like 4:50, 4:51. And then off to our west, closer to I-77, Canton to Cleveland, the sunset's a little bit closer to 5 p.m. during the first week of December, which is when our region has our earliest sunsets of the year. Of course, the days continue to get shorter. We're now under 10 minutes or 10 hours, I should say, for daylight per day now, with the sunset at 5 and the sunrise at about 7:15 a.m. Of course, our day length bottoms out in a few weeks as we hit the first day of winter. All right, it's going to be a night tonight and a day tomorrow where you pull up the Storm Tracker 21 app and look at the interactive radar. It may not be showing anything, even though it's kind of raining outside. Mist, drizzle, falling from real low-hanging clouds. Our cloud ceilings are only 500 to 1,000 feet above our heads, and sometimes we get flurries when it's cold enough out of those low clouds. They can't be picked up by the radar sometimes because of where we are. Our region is between the Cleveland and Pittsburgh National Weather Service radars, and because of the Earth's curvature, that radar beam, as it leaves the radar site, gains in elevation. So it's a few thousand feet above our heads, between 3,000 and 5,000 feet above our heads by the time it reaches us. And so anything that's happening underneath that level, the radar has a hard time seeing it. And yeah, it could be a night like that for tonight. Now, the radar is picking up on a few specks of green as of 7:14 this evening, south of 224, but even around and north of 224, a real fine mist or some drizzle may be occurring in your backyard this evening. This chance for just a touch of rain, drizzle, mist, even a little fog will continue into at least the first half of the day tomorrow. The afternoon, just like today, unfortunately, just a low-hanging stratus deck of clouds. May see some thinning of those clouds for a time tomorrow night, and maybe a little milky sun at the start of the day, Thursday. But later in the day, Thursday into Thursday night, clouds thicken up and shower chances increase. I don't think this will be much rain, but that chance for showers will continue to Friday morning, Friday afternoon, clouds. Falling temperatures will reach our high Friday during the morning hours. Temperatures will fall during the midday and the afternoon. Let's talk a little bit about the weekend and the run-up to Thanksgiving. If you watched Weather Geeks last evening, I told you about some model challenges for the Saturday forecast. The European model painting a wet picture with an area of low pressure moving up through the Ohio Valley. The GFS, one of our other major mid-range models. I believed in the European more than the GFS, and we'd probably see the GFS correct as we get a little bit closer towards that European model idea. And yeah, no surprise. Saw that today. Hey, I've been doing this a while. I've seen this movie a few times. These models have biases that trained eyes can recognize, and so it's not a big shock that the GFS caved a little bit to the European today. Here's the afternoon run of the European model, showing maybe not as strong of a low-pressure system as yesterday, and not as fast either, but still brings a low up into the lower Ohio Valley Saturday afternoon. And taken literally, this means chilly rain, maybe some wet snowflakes mixed in. It's probably fairly low impact during the second half of the day on Saturday. The GFS now, a little more towards that European idea, certainly. Again, yesterday the GFS had a low out here. Now that low is moving up through the Ohio Valley like the European has, suggesting that some rain pushes in for Saturday. So I've upped our rain chances in Saturday's forecast. There might even be some wet snow, and the best chance for rain probably as we get into the afternoon on Saturday. But Sunday is still shaping up to be a halfway decent day. I'm going to switch back to the European model here. It shows a dry day with a mix of sun and clouds. I think that's the right idea for Sunday. But interesting times ahead as we roll towards Thanksgiving. It's going to warm up. This is Tuesday, 2 days before Thanksgiving. Big Mondo area of low pressure, deepening low out across the Midwest, and maybe borderline blizzard conditions for a time in parts of Iowa, down towards Omaha, and then maybe up towards the Twin Cities. We'll be on the warm side of this, so we'll get well into the 50s, it looks like, for a couple of days next week, Tuesday and into Wednesday. But speaking of Wednesday, that's, of course, one of the busiest, if not the busiest, travel days of the year, the day before Thanksgiving. And with this big area of low pressure moving somewhere through the upper Midwest and Great Lakes, look at the isobars packed close together here. This is going to be a windy day, it looks like. Of course, the storm track is still up in the air, but if this storm is anywhere in the vicinity of the Great Lakes and Midwest, as the models are showing, that means a windy day for us on Wednesday. That means a possibility of some delays at area airports. Again, I don't think there'll be snow here, but wind could be enough to delay things. If you have a flight for Thanksgiving, if you're getting out of town or someone's coming into town, flying into Cleveland or Pittsburgh or Canton, Akron, Wednesday could be an interesting day for the wind, perhaps causing us some problems. And then the front rolls through, and I think Thanksgiving Day into the long holiday weekend is likely to be noticeably cooler compared to the run-up to Thanksgiving. Again, I think we'll get well into the 50s Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe even flirting with 60 or so on that day before Thanksgiving on Wednesday. That's it for the Tuesday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. More updates on the weekend forecast, the run-up to Thanksgiving, and much more on future editions of this video and on 21 News at 6 and 11. Make sure you're following me on all the social media outlets, all the major ones anyway, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well.